Alright, let's get back to the main story part. Yushola. Ah, Suikyun, your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fufu Lupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. Okay. Let's go talk to him. Fufu Lupa. And you can kind of tell based on his name that it's a Lalafell. And he's got little chainmail armor, and he's got short blue hair for some reason, and he's got like... It looks like he's blushing. Sorry, but no one's gonna take you seriously like that, dude. He's got nice light blue hair, too. It's not even dark blue, it's a light blue. So he looks very much like a little troll. Fufu Lupa. Oh, hello there. Suikyun, was it? Yushola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... Yeah, it does look like he's wearing blush. Ah, but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Elegant Sunway. The cart bolted off towards Eastern Thanalon, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. Yushola, a speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amulja do have footholds in Eastern Thanalon. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? Fulupa cheers. Fufu Lupa cheers. We should be receiving a report any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could... Oh, Thancred shows up. Thancred, did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or, on second thought, perhaps it's good news after all. Yushola. Oh, Thancred. Where have you been off to? Thancred smiles and crosses his arms. Thancred, I figured you'd have everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amulja friends. And wouldn't you believe it? I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the brass blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of sumnus. The blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. Fufu Lupa sighs and lowers his head. Is that so? Alas. I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. Thancred. We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Suikyun. Thancred. Against all expectation, it would seem the Amulja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I cannot fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motives were profit, Why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Urianger of our progress, or lack thereof. We're getting a little cutscene.
Now then.
Thancred. Now then. He's getting a little call.
'Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Oh, holy shit, voice acting. Wow.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful.
Yeah, we see Urianger in the Waking Sands where Tataru usually sat.
Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
He looks out the door to the people outside. And steps out to see a group of people leaving a boat.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
So, we don't know who this person is yet. They are, or she is, completely covered from head to toe in purple cloth. Like, her whole face, it's hooded, like, everything. You cannot see one single part of her skin. Not one part. People are kind of looking at each other and shaking their head. A final temptation. Thancred. Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? No. No? Well then, for a want of better suggestion, I say we try picking Fufulupa's brain again. Who knows, if we work together, we may yet find something of use nestled away within it. Fufulupa. Oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matters, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Yushola, calm yourself, Fufulupa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? He's, like, jumping up and down and shit. He's, like, super, like, distressed. Fufulupa. I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there is someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst? Thancred thinks for a moment. It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Fufulupa. Yushola crosses her arms. Indeed. If for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. Thancred. Ah, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? Yushola. Mayhap not. but neither would the concerned be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they may instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone Mikote, there we go, minor, traveling without escort so as not to attract undue attention. Fufulupa. But who? Ah, I see. Yes, the concerned may well elect to do that. But to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley? Thancred. A fine spot for a rest, would you not agree, Suicune? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south. Yeah, sure. Fufulupa cheers. Tries to get their attention, I guess, by raising his arms like, hello! Ahem, forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Thancred nods. And Fufulupa runs off. And he comes back. Thancred, call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. I can encourage. I got lots of encouragement skills to make people stop fighting. Yashola, use my, encouraging skills. Yashola, stubborn to the last, as expected. You are unharmed? Yeah, I'm fine. Thancred runs up. A gang of sea wolf thieves, and in Thanalon, no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Yashola, sea wolves? All of them? Thancred kind of shrugs. Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering. Yashola puts her hands on her hips and bows her head in thought. Our thieves are a long way from home. Everyone's just kind of thinking. I'm just looking between them like, well, Yashola and Thancred think. I'm just like, do-do-do-do-do. Yashola, Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. Thancred nods. Then turns to me. Thancred, to Horizon then. Fufulupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. I nod, stoically. He'll then turn to leave. Fufulupa, I'm back. On behalf of the Brass Blades and the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. Ah, but we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Also, there was a traitor. Thancred, is that so? Then, by your leave, I should be very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. Fufulupa shakes his head. No. I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him and make good his escape. See, what happened was... Thancred. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling that sumnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? Fufalupa. No, but he was quite strong. A sea wolf. Lomincian born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. Bankard. I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. Fufulupu nods. Bankard. Yes? She's standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know. But one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? Yep. And I nod, stoically. See? Even Thancred knows. Oh, jeez. Where is my next quest? Oh, here it is. The Mother of Exiles. Thancred. The antecedent bid me to tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphanod awaits your coming most eagerly. I'm very popular. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident, I am not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphanod has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous brass blade. And when I do, you may rest assured that we will have our answers. Oh, I bet. Alphanod, you are late. No matter, I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans, who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes? In Othard? No. Well, like the rest of the nations of the eastern continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale. And more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Old Dot, Suicune. Unless I am mistaken, I am rarely mistaken. We will find the Domans bickering with a sultan sworn on the royal promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repertoire. Repertoire. Well, let's see. R-E-P-A-T-R-E-E. Repartee? I don't know. Whatever. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Old Dob. Yeah, okay, whatever. Everyone else is like, oh, you're too important for me to waste your time. And Alphonse's like, yeah, just come with me because I said so. Alright, cool. Well, according to Google, it's repartee. I bet you it's like repartee. But yeah, he thinks I'm witty, even though all I do is, like, nod stoically. I got a cutscene. Bartholomew. So we're at the steps of the promenade or whatever. Basically the steps to the meeting chambers where the Sultanate and Marlweb, the pirate lady, and Ruban usually show up, and the Seed Seer chick. We're basically right before that, right outside those doors, I believe. And so yeah, we've got some, knightly dudes out here, and they're guarding the door. And one of them is named Bartholomew, and he's talking to the lady that it's fully clothed in purple. And we can see her from behind now, and what we can see is like a white, kind of like dragon tail. And from what my friend told me is that when this game came out, the dragon species did not exist. And so this whole thing with this lady being clothed in purple and all that stuff was just like a teaser of a new class to be discovered, that they hadn't released yet. So that's why she's all like clothed in purple and she doesn't want to, show her face or anything like that. Because she was literally just in here as to be a teaser for a new species that you can choose to make your class at. Or like make your character. So if I wanted to, I could be this dragon lady. And probably this whole thing about her being a dragon and didn't want to, scare people, probably wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, that's the whole reason she's like covered in purple and all you ever see is her tail. Because it was supposed to be like a teaser. Bartholomew, it matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permission, none shall pass. Refugee leader, pray understand, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Bartholomew, away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. Refugee leader, you know not what you do. She shakes her head disappointedly, then walks off. Elphanod approaches her. Elphanod, I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. Refugee leader, a loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. Elphanod, I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Elphanod Levelier, at your service. A friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique, in this part of the world at least. Few indeed are your allies in Ul'dah, yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help. I nod, stoically. So, just so there's not any confusion, because there probably shouldn't be at this point, but when I was going through this the first time, I saw the cutscene that had the Ascians in it, the ones with the robes and everything, and for some reason, I don't know why, I could swear I saw this lady in purple in that cutscene. So this whole time I was going through this quest, up until I brought it up with my friend, I thought that she was kind of like some secret agent, and she was gonna like, spring a trap or, something like that. This whole time I thought that. And he's like, no. So he looked at the cutscene, he's like, no, she was not in that cutscene. I'm not sure where you got that from. I'm like, ask my brain. My brain put it there. So, but yeah, just so you know, she was not in that cutscene. But it confused the shit out of me for a while. Alright, found Elphanod. We're in kind of like a dining hall.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Her name is Yugiri. That's her name.
sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Domar was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Yeah, because again, she's clothed from head to toe. I mean, even her hands and everything are completely covered. The only thing that we can actually see is the tail, and that's it. Can't see her face, eyes, nothing.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
I nod, stoically. Yugiri. If I may, madam. As I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much. Desperation compels me. Good madam, if you or your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Let's speak to Momodai. I think she's the one that gave us that quest for the giants in the mine that had like been slaves at one point, then eventually broke free of their slave spells. I think that's her. Momodai. Hells! Why didn't you say so sooner, Suikun? Course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day to tell the truth. Couldn't have picked a better day to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his, entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow. See, but just sent word they can't come. Meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Ha-ha! Go and call on Frieduri and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Walking Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should send them straight. Alright. It should be right over here, where all these merchants are. Alright. Free Dura, or whatever. She's in the business of feeding refugees now? I ain't normally one to question Mistress Momodai's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. I got a letter. Instructions penned by the Quicksand Proprieties to deliver foodstuffs to the Waking Sands. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man who can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Alright, let's talk to Catherine. My, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions? Nope, got a letter. You know, you should encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Yeah, it's a fair concern. Momodai, they didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Yordagiri it's all in hand. Got you covered. Yordagiri. I dared not hope for such magnanimity and much less expect it. Mistress Momodai is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Or get a cutscene. Alphanod showed up. Alphanod. Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you'll be pleased with his reply. Yugiri. We have been granted an audience? Alphanod. Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both. We shall return to the Royal Promenade at once. Yugiri bows. You have done much for us, Master Alphanod. I swear we shall return the favor. Alphanod. Naught is owed, Lady Yugiri, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Yugiri. Then I shall choose them with care. Alphanod turns to me. You will be accompanying us, yes? Yep. Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of their true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. I nod, stoically. Yugiri bows low, then follows him. Alright, well, I found Ruban and a little group of people. Let's see what Alphanaut has to say. We must take pains to illustrate how accepting the Domans would benefit Ul'dah. Only then might the Syndicate be swayed. Yeah, Ul'dah people are more about, like, what benefits and profits them and things like that. Again, like, they're basically Ferengi. Yugiri. Bards sing of wars which decided the fates of nations, but a single word spoken within a council chamber is more like to decide that of mine own. Yeah, pretty much. You don't really get a lot of that. Who's this person? Telegi... Oh, Telegi Alegi. Adelegi. Yeah. I wish to greet our guests beforehand and offer my support for their cause. Domon, Ul'dah, it matters not to me. Birthplace does not equate to birthright in mine eyes. That sounds pretty progressive, I think, for an Ul'dah. I take great pride in my establishments for this very reason. The Platinum Mirage, in particular, serves as a showcase for the talents of countless men and women born beyond our borders. Yeah, fair. Alright, let's speak to Ruban. A pleasure, Suicune. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting. If I remember, this is a lengthy cutscene.
I, Yugiri of Domar, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer.
Yeah, so we're basically in a council chamber, I think, with like 6 or 7 people sitting at the table, and Yugiri bowed low before she started her little speech.
Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri.
Yeah, that's the Sultana. The Nanamo Ol Namo. She's got the pink dress, kind of long pink ponytail hair, with a golden crown over her forehead, with like pink pearl-looking gems on it.
Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Domar, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the Purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
That was the Telegy Adelegy. So Telegy damn it, Adelegy. This is the guy we spoke to before we entered in here.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
Yeah, he probably thinks that he can get them to work for like super cheap or something.
The law is the law.
That is Lolo Rito. And he's got some kind of weird mask covering his eyes. He's so odd. I don't like his look at all, but that's, I guess, the fashion where people like to wear masks over their faces so no one can see their eyes.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes. The law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
That was Telegy Adelegy.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future.
Again, that's Lolo Rito.
Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Telegy Adelegi's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage hath fallen both in repute and profitability since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
We see Lolorito leave. See another one leave. And another dude leave, and another one. That looks like 4. Just the Sultana, Ruban, and the other guy stayed.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited.
Yugiri shakes her head with disappointment.
Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
The Sultana also shakes her head with frustration.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
Yugiri bows low. Sultana nods and leaves.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Yugiri bows low.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Oh, I can pick something. I thought I was going to get all these colors. Let's see. Lilac purple, millen corn yellow dye, or cork brown. Lilac purple sounds pretty. Yellow's got a red icon. Promises to keep. Raban. As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft I have wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah! I will waste no more words on him, not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. Alright, we are somewhere else. Let's speak to Elphanon, see what he says. Mayhap I should have considered the likelihood of failure more deeply beforehand. Yeah, probably. Let's speak to Yugiri. A galleon is no place for my people, for any people to call home. This cannot continue. Oh yeah, you guys have been on a boat for like a really long time. Speak to Telegy. I will not deny that certain portions of the refugee population have been a burden on the Sultanate, but I take issue with my counterparts' contention that they account for the majority. In this, they are plainly mistaken. Even so, we must not think ill of them for wishing to protect our great nation. That's what Ruban has to say. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The monetarists have made their position clear. Alphanot. Agreed. Ul'dah is not an option. Nor are Limsa Lominsa and Gridania. I judge given the state of their internal affairs. He shakes his head. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope of better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative. A place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. He suddenly seems to have a thought. And makes a call. Menphilia, that is precisely what I wish to discuss. Yugiri, I understand the Syndicate's decision. I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for a sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week, mayhap, or even just a few days? Alphanot. Excellent. I shall keep you informed. Lady Ugiri, I have a proposal, if you would hear it. Ruban. Out with it, Master Alphanot. Alphanot. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-esteemed settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands, hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Ruban. Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Ugiri. Telegy Adelegy. Though I would not hear a word said against our beloved Ul'dah, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. Ugiri. If they cannot accommodate us all, we shall if they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Alphanot nods. Ugiri. Master Alphanot, once again I find myself in your debt. Alphanot looks to me. Alphanot. Pray do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Revenant's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Ul'dah Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there anon, Suigyun. I nod, stoically. Ruban. Lady Ugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the immortal flames can provide. Ugiri nods. And we all leave. Oh, nope, not here. Keep going. Yeah, here we go. Kind of like a bar area. It's got food and stuff. Elfanod. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Revenant's Toll too much to bear. Too long had they been sequestered aboard their ship, with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Modi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. Momodi waves at us. Ruban, Yagiri and her people, and Teleji shows up. Ruban, what news? Alphanod. Transportation remains our greatest obstacle. General. Is there aught the immortal flames can do? Ruban nods. I fear that exceeds our mandate. Even though he nodded. Okay, great. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed. But the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. Taligi Adeligi. When government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the service of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Ruban. Very well. We shall begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. Telegi. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ul'dah, Lady Yugiri. Yugiri and the two people with her bow low. And you in Revenant's Toll, my lord. Momodia waves her hand. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Yugiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? For someone who Alphanod said that, there must be profit in what he was suggesting, Telegy has been very generous. Alphanod. I would entrust this task of escorting our Doman friends to you. After all, you have rested your own road-weary legs, of course. After you rested your own weary legs, of course. What say you? I nod, stoically. But of course. I'll make sure no harm comes to these people. Yugiri's game. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, wherefrom they will be transported by carriage to Ul'dah. That said, this has been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. So, Yukun, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak with a man named Hozan when you arrive. As Lady Yugiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Good thing I still have a couple of these teleports left. I thought I was pretty much done with Vesper Bay, but I guess not. I mean, there is a teleport not too far from Vesper Bay, but then it'll just require me to run over here. Here's Hozan. Hozan. Greetings. Greetings. Alphanod informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. Again, I do like that people are starting to recognize my awesomeness. Aye, I knew from a glance what manner of woman you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive this trifle, but might I trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care? They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I have failed. It also helps that I have quest markers to very plainly tell me where they are. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son, Yozan. He can tell you more. Yeah, I literally have to go play hide and seek now. Yozan found the kids. Wonderful! All the children are accounted. Hide and seek? Ah, I see that you are curious. It is quite simple, really. Lady Yugiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Oh, maybe hide and seek is not like a well-known, like maybe game amongst other countries? And so they invented this game called hide and seek. Oh, that'd actually be pretty interesting. Why we adventure. To be awesome. Hozan. The first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Home, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with young Koharu, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Ul'dah is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, thank you for your kindness. When you are ready to leave, please inform our coachman. I mean, and I'm also getting paid. Why do I adventure? Because I like to heal people. That's why. Her, Hiren Coachman. Eager to be off, are you? Aye, well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that. Runner from Blade say we might have a problem. Uh-oh. A fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerley. Might be as someone's eyes are playing trick on 'em, of course, but it don't pay to gamble in this business. Now, I know you can't handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here's another story. So I was thinking, you might go on ahead and have a quick look around. Make sure the area's safe, like. And if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. Stone it to death. When you're satisfied the way's clear, meet us outside Horizon. The blades tell me the road there's safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own. Assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. I have no idea what accent I just made there. I was trying to go for like what he was saying, but yeah. Alright, let's survey our surroundings. See what's up. Oh, we got attacked by one of those one-eyed bat things. Let's kick his ass. I gotta do the eye mechanic. So basically, like, if there's a eyeball icon on the screen, then I have to actually physically turn my character away from it. Otherwise he'll freeze me or kill me or something like that. pretty interesting mechanic. Talk to the coachman, dude. So there was a beastie. Was being the operative word, eh? Haha. Yup, he dead now. See people brushing their chocobo? Hozan. Well fought, madam, well fought. Ah, if only I were in better health, I should have been proud to stand at your side. Home. Pay my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. See Gid bouncing on top of a box for some reason. Hozan. Be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. Oh yeah, because, I would have won. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Home. Lost, but not forgotten. Lady Ugiri's kinsmen least of all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? Hozan. He points to himself. In kind, father. To she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do it without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Revenant's toll will grow and prosper by our hands. I smile and nod. Yay! Oh, people run over to us. A couple of kids. And I think an adult. I look pretty shocked, and now concerned. Uh-oh. Yozan. Hey, Miss Suikyun! Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. There's some adult behind them that's like gasping for air. Why'd you become an adventurer? To gain power, to win glory, to amass a fortune, to go wither the wild rose blooms. I think I did this one last time. I thought maybe it would trigger something other than they're just like, what the fuck does that mean? To win glory. Let's do glory. I want to be remembered in the history books as the best healer ever. Glory? Ah, like bringing honor to your family, you mean? Yes, father always goes on about that. There's a girl that's cheering me. That's Koharu. It's my turn now. Excuse me, Miss Suikyun, I've got a question. What's Revenant's Toll like? Is it pretty? No. It's a bustling outpost frequented by countless adventurers. It's a bastion of civilization in a harsh and unforgiving wilderness. It is home to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Or it is a stone's throw from an Imperial castrum. It's a bustling outpost frequented by countless adventurers. I'm gonna go with it's home to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, though I don't think she knows what that is. But I'm gonna spread the word the Scions have moved to, Revenant's Toll. See what she says about that. Oh, so you live there with your friends? That means you'll always be there to protect us. Well, that made him happy. Yozan. Enough, Koharu. It's my turn again. Miss Suikyun, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? Let's see. What is the best way to become more powerful? Seek out new experiences and adventures. Fight ferocious beasts. Train every day. Or buy weapons and armor from Rowena. I mean, training every day is very important, but also you gotta seek out new experiences and adventures. Though... Seek out new shit. I'm gonna go with the experiences and adventures. That one sounds better. Because what's the point of training if you just stay home all the time? Yozan crosses his arms and nods proudly. Of course! To be a better adventurer, you need to go adventuring! Yup. Hozan cheers. Hozan. Oh no, Hozan's the adult. Alright. That's enough questions for Miss Suicune. The kids look disappointed. Koharu. That's not fair! Why does Yozan get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Yozan. Just one more, please. Do you think I could hear an adventurer? Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? I smile and nod. Yozan looks super pumped. Really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice, Miss Suicune. I won't forget it. Koharu. I want to be an adventurer too. Her brother nods. At least I assume that's her brother. Yozan. When we get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurers guild for Domans. He pounds his fists together. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Miss Suicune and Lady Yugiri. Koharu. Yeah, just like Miss Suicune and Lady Yugiri. Hozan. We can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? I smile and nod. I probably should have done the train every day, but I do like the adventure thing. Because I'm sure I didn't get the way I was by, even by adventuring, you still gotta train. Let's teleport back to Fenelon. Let's go back to Ul'dah. Oh, let's speak to Alphinaud. Actually, before I speak to Alphinaud, let's speak to Yugiri. I pray they do not grow too accustomed to this treatment. It is a welcome respite, to be sure, but a far cry from what we can expect in Revenant's Toll. Yeah, don't let them get comfortable. Alphinaud. Ah, Suicune, I take it the first group has arrived? Excellent. Is there aught else? No. I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yugiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. All due respect. Alphinaud. It is past time Lady Yugiri met with the guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Since I do not foresee any future matters arising here in Fenelon, which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to a Doman delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slaftborn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Ugiri to Menphilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting tie should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels, Suicune. Alright, let's go and make a good first impression. Slaftborn. He kind of looks up and down on Yugiri's odd little purple outfit. Slaftborn. Ah, this must be the esteemed Lady Yugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have a wealth of spirit, and a camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts, provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course. Yugiri. We are no strangers to hard work, Master Slaftborn. You may rest assured we will carry out your orders with due diligence. She bows low. Slaftborn. Oh, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are both frontier hands as far as I'm concerned. Yugiri. As you wish, Slaftborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. She nods her head. Apparently I say something. Slaftborn. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedents. 7 hell, Suicune! Why are you wasting time with me? See them into the rising stones. I nod, stoically. Do I go in here? No. Oh, I gotta talk to you. To whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting with your leader. We shall join you at the Rising Stones anon. Oh, here's Tataru. Let's help the Tataru. I wonder what herbs and spices they use in Doma. Maybe there's something I could add to my special tonic. Always good to learn new stuff. I kind of want to find Thancred. Assuming he's around. He might not be around. It's odd to see Yida and Palpamio not at the same table. Usually they're stuck together like glue. I don't see Thancred. Oh well. He's having lunch or something with somebody else. Menphilia. It looks like she's speaking on their little earphone thing. "'Tis no use." She turns to see me. "Our attempts to reach the students of Baldesion continue to meet with failure. Ariange has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know." Yeah, they're probably dead. She shakes her head sadly. "How fare the Domans? I am given to understand you were kept quite busy in Vesper Bay." "Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them." "Lady Ugiri is here? Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her." Everyone kind of greets each other. Ugiri bows low. Menphilia. "We have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing." Menphilia bows. Ugiri. "Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady. But are you quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer the summons. In the event that Revenant's toll could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution." Menphilia nods. Menphilia. "Should that come to pass, we will find it together." Adventurers Guild Emissary. This is the guy with, like, the white coat that Alphanod introduced earlier. I don't think he plays much of a role, but, I mean, he doesn't even have a name. So yeah, he's the guy with the white coat. The one that was brought in with, like, the lady with, like, the black dress kind of thing. "As ever, it has been a pleasure, Antecedent. Alas, we must take our leave, as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak with Slaffborn. Lady Ugiri, Suicune." The emissaries take their leave. Menphilia. "Laman and I will make all the necessary preparations to ensure that our Doman friends feel at home upon their arrival. Though I must admit that I am still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Yashola should be returning anon with a report from a field. Mayhap you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival?" The group seems to be speaking to each other like Thancred, Palpamio, Tataru.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Oh, must be flashback time. Because I'm having it too. See you, Shola.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective.
That's a big crystal.
And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless ones.
So that's a Sahagin priest. And it's kind of like the Zoras from Zelda, except much uglier. And this guy has what seems to be like a giant crab shell for a head, with some fangy teeth.
And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
She's talking to two other people with her. Some nameless dudes. They run off. I shake my head. So does Menphilia.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not?
I did, yeah.
Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
Primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Yugiri nods. The sea rises. Menphilia. Plainly, should the worst come to pass and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experience, you may well think that eventuality inevitable. I mean, this is an MMO, so yes, I do. Yet, so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts towards achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa Luminsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share. Speak to Xanthio. He's basically like a guard or something. You are expected. Pray take this lift to the command room. Hey, Merlewib. She's the pirate vampire. Welcome, friends. I take it Yashola has apprised you of the situation. Let us waste no time, then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanalon to supplement their cachet. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if gods forbid our efforts should come to naught, I will need to trouble you for more than mere support, much as I did when Titan last walked these lands. The Scions seem to agree. Lady Menphilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. Menphilia, I do, Admiral, but I would rather not be drawn on their nature. Yeah, I will say only that there is something I would see with mine own eyes. Merlewib, is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require. But precaution must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Lieutenant Astroma, our scouts are currently it's not even reconnecting, it's reconnoitering. Whatever. Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning ground. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operations staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Falk Breda has charge of the garrison. I nod, stoically. Alright, let's speak to Folkbreda. Folkbreda is... what is this? Oh, it's a lady. I thought it was a guy. It's a lady, and she's like the orc species. And so she's pretty big. She's like Amazonian type woman. Like, she's a big lady. And she's got a red kind of noble shirt. And kind of a noble hat. It's a blue hat, though. It actually kind of clashes. Alright, Folkbreda. I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we'll prevent Leviathan's return. No, you won't. Come on now. We all know it's gonna get summoned. We fought Titan and Ifrit and Garuda. Come on. You're gonna wind up failing in summon Leviathan. We all know this. Scouts in distress. Folkbreda. As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter at the Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe like of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that. And yet, their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in this search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa all told. Here, take this flask of restorative to tend to those who may have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. I'm back. Folkbreda. You're returned. Thank the Navigator. When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared you'd meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Well, you got 2 dead and 1 guy that I rescued. Dear gods, she starts to cry. These wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they go too far. I dread to think what may have become of the 2 who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. The Gift of Eternity. Folkbreda. I think she's angry? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, yeah, she looks mad. Thrice damned fishback bastards! I'll kill them slowly and then chase their rotten souls through all 7 hells! Oh, Merwib and Menphilia show up. The 2 storm soldiers stand at attention. Merwib. Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want your minds on the task at hand. Savvy? Folkbreda. My apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head. Merwib. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetherite in the depth of Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. Volkbrida. The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance. Merlwyb considers this. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetheorite and eliminate the Sahagin priest presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. That's kind of a Thrawn moment there. Merlwyb. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates at the Serpent's Tongue, Commander. You have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. At the self-same moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleets shall harry the enemy from offshore. Minfilia. In likewise, we Scions shall form smaller units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive efforts. Suicune and Yushola, the two of you are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversion should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Yushola nods. Minfilia. Thancred and Yugiri, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take to your heels and circle round to join the infiltration unit of Yushola and Suicune. Both of them nod. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheorite. Oh, sorry, this is Merlwyb. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheorite, accompanied by Lady Minfilia, as we agreed. Well, don't let me keep you, friends. To battle! Yushola. When last did we fight side by side, Suicune? Too long ago, I warrant. But come, let us away. Okay, so where I'm at is kind of like if we were under the ocean, except there's no water. So there's like little glowing underwater plants coming out of the coral and rock here. There's like frog lizard type monsters with, I think those are lots of eyeballs. Glowing plants, things like that. Moss everywhere. Coral, things like that. Let's talk to Yushola. She's kind of crouched down, trying to not be seen. Or she's injured. Says we're aiding her. Pray do not concern yourself. 'Twas but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheorite is close at hand. Let's press on. We get a cutscene. That's a big crystal. Big blue crystal with smaller crystals floating around it. See fish face. Yushola and I look at each other and nod. We're attacked by fishmen and zombie sailors.
Damn them.
Yushola.
They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both.
Oh. Voice acting. Fish guy jumps out of the water from behind us. And a knife stabs him in the head.
Did I miss much?
Which came from Thancred. I'll use Yugiri. She's a badass. She's got 2 daggers and she's basically just like twirling around, slashing everybody. She took 1 dagger and stabbed it into the ground. Electricity formed around her and killed everyone.
That's how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency.
Kicks a dagger and catches it. And the other dagger. He's basically moving like she did, all swift, with the double daggers and stuff. Flips in the air, went in slow motion, and cut the dude in half, basically. Yugiri seems pretty impressed. Yugiri flips over the fish man in slow motion. Slices him several times in the back with his daggers.
To the Aetherite!
I nod. And book it. The fishmen are praying at the giant crystal. Fishmen surround us. Two of the fishmen are dead. And another one.
You'll forgive me my lateness.
Thanks, pirate vampire. She shot at them with her double-barrel maelstrom gun. 2 fish guys launched themselves at her. She calmly takes them out with her guns. 2 more try to take out Menphilia, and Thancred and Yugiri take them out. At the same time.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Menphilia smiles and nods.
Long have you shriveled Sorwalkers, tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
The fish guy began to glow, with the blue light swirling around him. I grab my head. Probably about to have a flashback. As does Menphilia.
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What?
Such power! It is transcendent!
Whirlwhip shoots him. The priest one. In the back of the head, and he falls over dead. His body glows brightly as tendrils swirl around him and becomes like a blue ball of watery light. The blue ball moves into a different body, like one of the fish guys, which is then surrounded by black energy and transforms him into the priest one.
7 hells.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Strike me down if you will. futile! I have mastered the gift. I am eternal!
Yeah, so basically he can just, like, possess someone else's body and make their body even look like his.
O mighty Leviathan, ruler of the seas, born of waters primordial, I offer unto you this frail flesh, that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance.
The fish,
I beseech you, come forth!
the fish guys are glowing blue again.
Die, damn you!
And the priest guy's dead again. And the blue ball goes into the air. Merle just keeps shooting at him.
Foolish shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
I think Merwhip killed all of the fish guys. So he's just left as a blue ball of light. And there's Leviathan. Basically a giant sea serpent.
Heavens forfend.
Damn it all!
My being ebbs away. It could by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
And the blue ball of light was absorbed. Who then suddenly disappears.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon! Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the Primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
Merwhip. Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than aught seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements, if his last attempt is any guide. We cannot suffer the history to be repeated, yet how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? I think she means like a straight up like tidal wave. Or not like a tsunami? I think she means tsunami. I think it's tsunami. Into the heart of the whirl. Merwhip. Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none, of that you may be sure. But Lymalian herself would struggle to be best the Lord of the Whirl in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. We need another plan, that much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. Alright, now in her commander room. Oh, we got some people to talk to. Let's talk to all of them. Yashola. To confront the Lord of the Whirl in his watery domain is far from ideal. Yet he is not like to come to us. Would that he lacked the means to strike us from afar. Yugiri. When I saw Leviathan rise from the depths, I cannot well describe what I felt. No words could prepare one for such a sight. Yeah, nope. That was her first time. Thancred. Being the observant adventurer that you are, you will doubtless have noticed my dagger work back at Sapsa. You know me, Suicune. I like to dabble in a bit of this and a bit of that. I mean, I knew you had to have been good, but damn, you were really fucking cool. As was Yugiri, she was really good. Then Philia. The Sahagin Elder claimed to have become eternal, yet he was summarily consumed by Leviathan. What might this imply? That someone's a liar.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western La Noscia. Hearthstone, it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the Company of Heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The Company of Heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
That is Enzar... Yeah, Enzar Slafferson. Sure, we're gonna go with that one. He's another one of the, like, green orc dudes in Storm pirate, like, outfit.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, All these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the company of heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe. But I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now,
He looks embarrassed.
from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel.
He looks at me and I nod, stoically. Everyone in the room seems happy.
Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
He salutes.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
I nod, stoically. Talk to you, Geary. Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I've come face to face with a primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans feared them so. Storm Sergeant or whatever bursts into the room. Merlwib, what is it? The guy salutes. It's a green orc dude. Storm Herald. A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once. Merlwib. I am listening. Storm Herald. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. Then Felia looks shocked. Merlwib. One of the company of heroes. Storm Herald. The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. Merlwib thinks. I am disinclined to put any store by this claim. And even should it be true, it is as Yushola said. None save the company of heroes has bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having waged limbless survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessels will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Suicune, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness. I nod, stoically. Storm Herald. The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Laodicea. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. Okay, wait a minute. So I'm at my objective, and I see a green orc with kind of a straw hat, with kind of like a thong, with leopard print, weird mismatching armor, named Tractoum. This is the orc that lied about being in the company of heroes and made me do his chores. And then asked me to lie about it. Oh, this is gonna be great. Alright, let's talk to the Storm Pirate, see what he's got to say. Tractoum. Now look here, you. You'll have your bloody story right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. Storm Pirate. But sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you. And before I mucked out the chocobo stables. And before I rolled that millstone over to the mill. And also before... Tractoum stands up suddenly. And kind of like shrugs. Gods, man! I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days! And do you hear me complaining? Bah! I suppose some of us just ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright. I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Tractorum ain't a generous soul. Now, pick up your ears, 'cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting, you kin? Ahem. The tale of Tractoum's epic victory over the dread primal Liabetus. Now, Liabetus is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea on how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long. And that's no mean feat, let me tell ya. He turns around and starts to flex his muscles. When I fought him, I could barely see for for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of my hands at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake. Storm Private, what happened next? Tracked home. Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates into the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Mayhap too modest. Now, there's some as say you can never truly beat Leviathanes. They can never truly beat Leviathanes. That you've got to learn to live with them and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. He finally sees me and pretty much poops his pants. He's very scared now. Ah! It's you! He falls to his hands and knees and bows his head. Track to him. I'm sorry! I didn't mean it! I was just enjoying the attention, is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm chocobo dung. No, I'm the maggots you find wriggling in the chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them. And that don't happen much. Me member's tiny. It's pathetic. This storm dude just like shrugs, like, what the fuck? I sure as hell didn't fight Leviathan, but I have seen him with me own eyes. 'Twas a fair few years back when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent, some malms off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared, I soiled myself right then and there. What? Oh gods, just remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Great. Hey, wait. If you're here asking after Leviathan, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't ya? Well, take care. He really is terrible. Dreadful, I tell ya. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. I nod, stoically, despite the guy having shit himself. Storm Pirate's pretty pissed, though. Why, you worthless, lying horse, son! I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung! He storms out. I get a call. Menphilia. Suicune, this is Menphilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? No. I beg your pardon? Leviathan? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Moraby docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able. Leviathan, jeez. Alright, let's talk to Enzar Slapperson. I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lass. I'll wager it served to take your mind off of the events of recent days, though. Oh yeah, it did. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the Horror Eater, I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The Horror Eater and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word, and we shall bear you to Leviathan. Lord of the Whirl. Enzar Slefferson. Ah, I know that look. You are ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the Horror Eater may not be pretty, but I assure you she's capable. She has been fitted with what our friends at Naldik and Famelis are calling an elemental converter. Assuming the thing works, it will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold over water. I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to, go out and find more crystals, because I did that shit already. So I am at least glad they didn't do that again. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well need to activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. Menphelia and the gang show up. Menphelia. It is expected that the Sahagin and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. Accordingly, the Maelstrom will once again employ diversions. Thancred and Yashola, I would have you assist in this effort. Yugiri. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your diversionary force must not want for numbers. By your leave, I too would volunteer my blade. Merlwyb. We would welcome it. Having seen you fight in Sapsa, I dare say the fishbacks would find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Yashola, if you would join the Third Levy, and Lady Yugiri the Fifth. Merlwyb. But what words have I for the woman who has made a sport of slaying gods? Only these. Go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. Menphelia. I would echo the Admiral's sentiment, and add a few words of mine own. Know that we will have the utmost faith in you, Suicune. May the crystals bless and keep you. Or crystal. Bless and keep you. The Horror Eater Hard, now accessible. Well, we're on a ship. Looks like we're being tugged by a big ship. Full speed ahead! Oh, the crewmates are running around the ship. So we see Leviathan in the distance. And the cannonballs seem to hit some kind of invisible shield. Leviathan summons some giant balls of water. Throws them at us like cannonballs. Leviathan dives into the water and hits straight for us like ramming speed! Though. The tugboat seems to be leaving us on the giant, basically, raft. Floating fighting space. You see Leviathan swimming underwater from his perspective. Dives up. And towers over us. He is freaking huge. Oh, we have a big party. I think we have an 8-person party. Asking, did they fix that? Fix what? Because some of these fights apparently have changed from previous versions. So some people are used to old mechanics. Break one extreme. And he's dead. Close the door. He is thrashing about. And then vanishes. And everybody left before I could give a commendation. How rude. Knowing the urgency of your business, now that I'm back at the base, I'm talking to the storm sergeant guy, the guy that runs the elevator. His name is Zenthiel. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today, I will permit myself a few words. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You are an inspiration to us all, madam. And on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room. Wink. Okay. Well, I got some people we can talk to first. Let's talk to Yashola. My congratulations, Suikun. This victory will serve to quiet the Sahagin, for a time at least. Yugiri. That such beings can be defeated runs contrary to all I know. Whence comes your strength and sense of purpose? I have like this big crystal mommy. She gives me special powers. Thancred. Another notch on the old belt, is it? Well done, my friend. Were I a god, I dare say I would tremble at your summoning. Nymphelia. So often do you achieve the impossible that I fear my words of congratulations will begin to sound repetitive, if indeed they have not already. With this in mind, I shall say only that I am glad of your safe return. I'll never get tired of it. Speak to, Slefferson. He bows to me. A number of things did not go exactly to plan, I will admit. Leviathan denied us the luxury of ramming him, for one. But let's not quibble over the manner of the victory, eh? If Limsa is safe and we're yet undrowned, I conclude that has been a good day. Now go and bask in the Admiral's gratitude, will ya? You have certainly earned the right. Suck the whirlwind.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks.
I smile.
'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Nymphelia, please!
You look so embarrassed.
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Moderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
After the meeting, just her and I. Oh, and Y'sholo.
You wished a word in private?
I guess maybe Morwhip and just Y'sholo. Those are only two we can see. Yugiri's hiding behind the corner.
Better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence.
Did you guys attack first again? And Yugiri's hiding behind a corner, and she crossed her arms.
Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then. But know that it will lead to no good end.
Yugiri's still hiding behind the corner listening. Y'sholo walks off. And passes Yugiri.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost.
Morwhip is in the background looking thoughtful.
To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us.
She thought Morwhip thought she heard something when, Yugiri left, but she didn't see anything.
When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Have you guys tried peace? Something makes me think you haven't really tried that. I mean, at this point, it may be too late. Too much bad blood between you, I suppose.